Hello friends, this is CA Shilpa Shingare here, President We Indus Societies Welfare Association. Uh, First, let me say that thanks for staying at home and securing yourself and life of your family members. Thanks for observing this lockdown and helping the entire government machinery as such. The next thank you is for watching me on YouTube because I'm getting a lot of emails, I'm getting a lot of messages on my WhatsApp saying that we have watched your YouTube video and then this is the further clarification that we want. So thanks for watching all my educational videos which are available on YouTube. For your kind information, let me share that you can watch me on my own channel, YouTube channel, that is Sahakar Vishwa. So on Google, you can just type CA Shilpa Shingare and Sahakar Vishwa channel, and you can find all the YouTube videos that I have recorded or the Zoom meetings that I have conducted for the explaining the role of managing committee members and other issues and taking up other issues. I have conducted some Zoom meetings and the recordings are also available. And till this lockdown period, that is till 3rd of May, I'm thinking of conducting more and more Zoom sessions for the committee members and for the chartered accountants also on various topics related to the cooperative housing society. So kindly watch me on my own channel, that is Sahakar Viswa, because Viswa is short form of We Indus Societies Welfare Association. So that is how the channel name is named as Sahakar Viswa. So kindly watch me on Sahakar Vishwa. You can also watch me on my, other YouTube videos on other channels as well. If you want to know more about me and the services that we render, then you can visit my website, that is www.cashilpashingare.in, and there is resource material tab is also there, so where we have uploaded a lot of information or the circulars, guidelines, notification, my own articles, advisories related to the cooperatives. It has also got a tab on income tax case laws. It has also got a tab on Maharera orders and circulars issued by Maharera authorities. There is also a query tab on the website, that is www.cashilpashingare.in website. So kindly log into that also, visit that website, and if you have any queries, you can post your queries there also. Thirdly, you can also visit my blog, that is CA Shilpa Shingare Real Cooperative Info blog, info.blogspot.com. And on that blog also, I do post all my video recordings. I post all the GRs, notifications, circulars, clarifications there. And on blog also you can visit, and if you have any queries, you can post it on the blog itself, and then I will try to respond to all the queries. The only thing is, while sending your queries, I would request you to be a little bit specific and precise about your queries. Let it be short and crispy, and so that it would be very easy for me to respond to your queries. And as far as possible, the queries should be general queries. If it is specific, related to your own flat or your own issues, then it's better you get back to me on my phone number, that is 9820053395, and then we can discuss it and see whether any commercials are involved in that. Right, friends? Today I thought, because since I'm getting a lot of queries on my WhatsApp and email, as I said, I thought let me touch upon certain points and let me guide my own committee members, because that is what I try to do. It's my genuine attempt to make the life of the managing committee members a little bit easy through my educational videos. And through today's video also, I would try to explain you or try to guide you on certain points related to this scene or the practical situation that we are facing in this COVID-19 situation. First of all, let us review certain circulars or the directions or the orders issued by various government authorities. So we are not going to deal or discuss on that. I will just try to review those guidelines, because a lot of queries are being issued on those guidelines also. There is no clarity or maybe the source or authenticity of that particular guideline, because all these guidelines we are receiving, even myself, we are receiving it through various WhatsApp groups. right? So it's getting forwarded. Like commenting on that, I don't think that there is a need, or each and every circular we need to discuss about, because everybody has to take their own call. I would request all the members, committee members, or the professionals, before advising your clients or before taking any call as a managing committee members, kindly do verify the source of the circular or the orders or the guidelines or the GRs or the notifications, and then only you are supposed to take a call, right? So the circulars or the guidelines or the directions which are being issued right from the day we are under lockdown are the first guideline or the orders were issued by our own deputy registrars or district deputy registrars on the role of managing committee members, like to observe this lockdown and to see that the members will not be stepping out of their homes on a regular basis or frequent basis or in mobs or something. So they prescribe certain guidelines. So that is the first guidelines which was issued by the regulating authority. The first regulating authority that any housing society will have is their deputy registrar, assistant registrars, or the district deputy registrars, right? So we are supposed to follow those guidelines, and as you know, under MCS Act 1960, that is Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960, under section 161, the office bearers or the officers are the public servants, so we are supposed to follow the guidelines. Then there are guidelines or the orders issued by your local police commissioners and all your local corporation authorities. We are supposed to follow them also. These guidelines, then your local LRA authorities or your local MLA or the corporator, they must have forwarded list of vegetable vendors or the farmers who are directly supplying vegetables, because what is being observed is people are stepping out or they are going out just for the sake of buying vegetables on a regular basis. So the need was felt, and the list is also getting not the list, there are various lists getting circulated on WhatsApp. So just see whether they are genuine or something, and you can take benefit of that. The other WhatsApp message that was getting circulated is data of domestic workers for Prime Minister's Pension Yojana, PMSYM, and then some bulk data and details through Excel sheet we were supposed to provide. So as of date, actually, even I am not aware the actual source or authenticity of the this particular message as such. But yes, you can very well log in or visit the Government of India's Labour Department website and the state government, that is Maharashtra government's Labour Department's website, and you will find that there is the scheme is there for the domestic workers where their income should be less than 15,000 rupees per month, and they should not be the income tax filers. That means they should not be filing the income tax return. So that scheme, that this pension scheme is there for the domestic workers. That is how I said we have to go to the root, that is the actual the official websites of that particular ministry. That means if you are getting any forwarded message on your WhatsApp, and if you find that any authority's letterhead or something is mentioned, then kindly visit that authority's official website and try to find out whether that particular notification or that particular scheme or something of that sort is available there. Then there was one WhatsApp message which is a recent one, which talks about which is for the landlords or the landowners or the property owners, saying that they can defer, they're supposed to defer the rentals for the person or their own licenses for the next 3 months, right? So this is another WhatsApp message that is getting circulated. Then maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, there was news even on the channels which were and in the newspaper, which is getting reflected, is 2,000 direct credit by the government to the construction workers, right? The registered construction worker is the word they are using. So this is one more message, one more news item you can say, or the update or whatever initiative from the ministry. The another WhatsApp message that is getting circulated is about the WhatsApp advisory for the admins itself. That means in this COVID-19 situation, when the entire nation, when the entire state government and the machineries are working, and the to fight, everybody is trying to fight against that. So we should be, as a responsible citizen, we should not be dealing in any activity which will disturb the situation that everybody is facing, and we should be contributing in a positive manner. So WhatsApp guidelines are being circulated, is what we are receiving on the WhatsApp. So everybody should follow that. Then yeah, during this lockdown, since the entire thing, like all the industries, all the offices, everything is being shut down. The industries, the offices, all the executives, all the employees and the employers, they are trying to get connected. Even the on a personal forum, personal basis, like we are trying to use various apps, various platforms through which we are getting connected, even with our relatives, we have friends and all. So there is one guideline which is being issued for, because Zoom is the platform which is being used by most of the people or the public at large. That is what is being observed, and then there were some issues. So some news was on the issues of application or using of Zoom app. So there is a guideline issued on this Zoom app advisory by the psychol. So that also needs to be seen and needs to be followed by all of us. Then there is one more important aspect to this COVID-19 situation is we all, as general members and responsible citizen, we need to contribute to the PM Cares Fund and the Chief Minister Relief Fund. So there is again a notification issued to that effect. And as far as cooperatives is concerned, yes, we can, each one of us, we can contribute to these funds, and then there is appeal from the government or the machinery also for contributing towards this PM Cares and the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. But of late, yesterday there was one message which was getting circulated on WhatsApp, and it was being forwarded to me also by some of the committee members, managing committee members, asking for its authenticity, because that message was saying that okay, if your number of members in your society are, let's say, up to 25, you have to contribute 2,500. If it is 50, 5,000, and then above 50, 7,500 or something, you need to contribute, and that direction is by the authorities, cooperative department authorities. I personally do not know whether that is correct, that is a genuine message or not, because I have not seen any guidelines or clarification, or none of the departmental officials have forwarded it to me forward it onward to the managing committee members. But yes, there is a clarification from the cooperative department saying that if the housing societies or if the cooperative societies wants to donate, then actually there is a provision in the act that the federation, that is federal authority, needs to be involved before making the donation. And there is section 157 in the MCS Act, which actually talks about the relaxation or the power to relax certain provisions. That power lies with the state government. So using that power under section 157, the norm of getting sanction or the approval of federal authority is being relaxed. So the guideline or the GR talks about that only, that okay, under section 157, that particular guideline or the provision of taking approval of the federal authority is being relaxed. It doesn't say that okay, this is what particular society, or this is what minimum or maximum someone has to contribute. So before taking any call, I would request to get it clarified by the departmental authorities, and then you can proceed if you are, because if you are making the payment just because you have seen that circular or seen that direction or the order by the departmental authorities through some WhatsApp forward. So I would request you to please get back to your own regulating authorities, get it clarified, get it checked, and then you can issue the checks or something. And see, because our guideline says the 150, under 157, there is no need for the federal authorities, but again, if you have to donate something, you will need your general body's approval, because as a housing society, because an MCS Act, it has more than 60 societies, it is applicable to more than 60 societies, right? Housing society is one of them. right? So as far as housing society is concerned, if any managing committee is thinking of making any donations to these two funds, then I would sincerely request them to please take the concurrence or the confirmation or the approval of their members first, because it's like utilizing your own funds, though the intention is very good that we are trying to contribute to the funds to fight this COVID-19 situation, but you are still guided by the provisions of the Act and the provisions of the bylaw, which says a prior approval would be needed if you are utilizing the fund. Right, so these are some of the circulars or the directions or the guidelines which are being issued by various authorities and which are getting circulated. So again requesting all of you, rather than getting getting tensed or getting confused, kindly visit the official website or kindly speak to your local authorities for that behalf, because on Google you get all the information, you can get the email IDs, you can get the contact numbers and all, and then you can simply check whether those messages which are getting circulated are genuine or not, and then only you take your own call. And whenever as a managing committee you are taking a call now, since this period, because it's a total lockdown, you are not able to meet your members, so still I would request, or I would sincerely again appeal that don't go overboard and don't take any decisions which will be contrary to the bylaws, even though, or saying that okay, because it was lockdown and because we were not able to meet our members, we have taken this as a decision of a MC. No, that will fall back on you. So please be cautious and still try to follow whatever guidelines are there or we are supposed to follow as per the bylaws, because even if you are not supposed to, you cannot meet your general body members physically, through various forums or platforms you can still meet them online, or you can conduct video meetings. You have to ensure that there is a quorum also, and then you can take a call, because anyway all the machinery, because this is one point or one query which is being addressed to me. So now I am shifting to the queries, or will try to issue some 7-8 I'll try to guide you on 7-8 issues which are being raised to me. So one particular issue was, since there is a total lockdown now and we are not able to meet, and there is a bylaw provision which says that the managing committee members are supposed to meet at least once in a month. So how to comply with that? So my answer to this query is yes, there is a bylaw provision which says that you are supposed to meet at least once in a month, and that even if you are under a lockdown period or under a lockdown situation, you can still conduct the meetings through various forums. As I said, you can conduct the video meetings through your own MC members. The only thing your bylaw provision says that you need to give 3 days working notice, or agenda needs to be given for the meeting. So even if you are using or you are going to conduct the video meetings or the e-meetings, then follow this bylaw provisions and give 3 days advance intimation. If it is an urgent meeting, then you need not have to give 3 days advance intimation, but then in that case you need to document. The office bearer needs to ensure that the reason why the urgent meeting is being called for needs to be documented, and you have to give the reason to all the members, and it needs to be documented also. So this is one aspect which I would like to clarify to all my MC members. Also ensure that whenever you are conducting the meetings, e-meetings or video meetings, the quorum has to be there, right? So if you are conducting video meetings and if there is no proper quorum which is required as per the bylaw, then again that e-meeting or video meeting would be void meeting, and whatever decisions you have taken in those meetings would be void, right? So kindly ensure on the number of working days notice, prior agenda, and the quorum. It is still applicable even for the e-meetings and the video meetings. The next query which was raised to me was if there is any resignation by the office bearer, because as I said, all my managing committee members, really it's a thankless job that everybody is doing, and they are the great leaders, I would say, because coming forward and leading the housing society is not that easy. So whatever they're trying to do, whatever initiatives they're trying to take, even under this COVID situation, they themselves they must be so stressed out. But still, for your own society, for our own society, rather, they're taking all those initiatives, all those. Decisions which are in our own, which are in the interest of the larger interest of the society. So we should be thankful for that. But at the same time, there may be a case in a housing society where the office bearer, like chairman or secretary, which is a crucial post, and maybe any one of them or maybe both of them, they must be thinking that the risk, I mean, which I'm going to take because of this position is more than what I'm supposed to get out of that. So let me resign from the post. So in that case, whether their resignation is with the immediate effect. So here I would like to clarify that unfortunately, when you are an office bearer, right, so your bylaw 131 is very clear on that. If a general member or a managing committee member, if a managing committee member who is not an office bearer, if he's sending you an email followed by a letter or something saying that he wants to resign or he's resigning with immediate effect, then 1 month period is there. That means the committee has to take that resignation on record within 1 month, and if they're not taking that resignation on record, maybe for next 1 month, it would be deemed that the 1 month period, after the 1 month period is over, he's resigned from the committee. But that is not so for the office bearer, because your bylaw 131 is very specific on that. Unless and until the handover takeover, that means each office bearer is being entrusted with the responsibilities which are very specifically mentioned in the bylaws, if you see. So if that particular office bearer is being entrusted or is being anyway, they're entrusted with the responsibilities, so they have to give a proper, there should be takeover, handover, and then someone else should take it over. So unless and until that handover takeover happens, that office bearer is not resolved or absolved from his duties. So even if his mail or his letter says that he's resigning immediately from the post as office bearer, so kindly take a note of it, that you are not absolved from your duty, and you will be still be continued as a office bearer till that handover takeover happens. So this is another point which I would like to clarify. Then there was one query which was raised to me, was a quarantine certificate. That means in our society there are foreign travelers who came to the came to India, and then they were supposed to observe 14 days quarantine period. They have observed it, so 14 days quarantine period, and now they want that managing committee members should issue a certificate to them saying that they have observed the quarantine certificate, they have observed the quarantine period. Now here I would request, I would advise all my managing committee members that please do not take the onus on you as a committee, because observing the quarantine period was a personal responsibility or the obligation of that particular member of your society. And instead of you giving a quarantine certificate to him, because since you yourself is also in a lockdown situation, you must not have seen him whether he has observed it or not. So please do not issue a quarantine certificate to that person on a society's office stationery or a letterhead. Instead, rather, you should, as a managing committee member or as a society committee, you should take a self declaration from that particular member saying that he has observed the quarantine period. So this will save you from the future problems, if any, coming or emanating from that particular member, right? So this is one point, that's one aspect. There was one query which was raised to me by most of the committee members is, however we are trying to guide and advise and instruct our members are not listening, and still they are going for the jogging, walking, morning walk, children are playing in the area, something like that. This was anyway initial period, the lockdown one, this was a query was raised, and even now this query is being raised to me. So their requirement or their issue is, I mean, what is the consequence if I am, what is that we are supposed to do as a managing committee members, because DDRs are simply issuing the orders and we are not able to implement, like practically it is not possible and all. So here I would request you, because I've personally spoken to the district deputy registrars on this issue, that sir, you people are issuing the directions, but the managing committee members are facing it difficult to implement it, because they cannot control, or they cannot they what best they can do is they can circulate the instructions, but they, beyond that they're helpless. So I was told that yes, they're supposed to implement, in the sense they can circulate the information, they can monitor, they have to issue the guidelines to all their members, and on regular basis they have to see and ensure that the members will not be stepping out of their house. And if after giving a lot of, I mean, even after requesting, even after giving them warnings, if the members are not, or if a then what they can do is they can simply lodge an FIR with the police, because in this case police authorities would be the authorities uh, which will take this or escalate this, or this issue lies or rests with the police authority. So that is what you can do as a worst case scenario. But I would advise not to go to that extent and try to create more and more awareness through your WhatsApp group or something, and try to create the very peaceful and smooth atmosphere in your own society, because that is what is the need of the hour. So litigation we should not be involved in. That is what I keep telling all the members of my housing societies. The next question or the issue which we would like to deal with is maintenance issue, maintenance bill. Whether the maintenance bills which we are issuing, whether we can give the extension, or whether we can waive off the interest. So the question, answer to this question or the query is, since all the regulators, including RBI, all the banks, they are coming out with some incentive packages or some announcements to make the life of the members easy or the borrowers easy. Same way, the housing society, all the committee members, they can take the decision. It should be a collective decision by all the managing committee members by a majority. And if you want, you can extend the due dates of maintenance bill of your committee, I mean your members. And if you want to waive off the interest also, then let me caution you again on one or two points is, yes, you can waive off the interest as a committee members, because generally if you have to waive off the interest, it should be a general body approval. But considering this is an exceptional scenario, so as a managing committee, since overall superintendence or overall management and superintendence lies with the chairman and then the managing committee, then in the larger interest of the members, if you want to take a decision of waiving off the interest portion, then make sure that the interest would be waived off to all the members. I mean, it should not be a selectively members only, so it should be for all the members. And second and important aspect is, you can waive off the interest only for the current bills. Like let's say you have decided maybe for 1 or 2 months bills you will not be charging interest, so it should be only for the current months. I mean, after the post this corona or post lockdown, whatever bills society must have raised and whatever bills must have been due after this period. But this waiver should not be for the previous or old outstanding, because otherwise then that would be a litigation area, because as a managing committee you are not empowered to waive off the interest. It is the general body's right. So waiving of interest is possible only for the present or the current billings. It should not be for the previous or the old outstanding. That is the next point I thought I would clarify. Last point is like during this lockdown, because everybody, again the members, committee members, the members, the auditors, they are coming back to me saying that all the acts everywhere the deadlines are getting extended. It is only the cooperative department where deadlines are not yet extended, because as a committee member, you know, there is a due date calendar for you. One is within 45 days we have to finalize the account. That is by 15th of May our account should be finalized. Next 15 days you are supposed to adopt those draft accounts. You have to display it for the members. Then by 1st of June, ideally the account should be sent to the auditor, and by 31st July, our society's accounts should get audited. So these are the first 2-3 deadlines, and then 30th September is our AGM deadline. 79(1)(a) and 1B returns also needs to be filed by the managing committee members, and again the due date is 30th September, or one month from the date of the AGM for the return of the auditor under section 79(1)(b), right? So these due dates we do need to take it to the government authorities, and we are working on that. We are preparing a representation so that extension will happen for all. But during this lockdown period, I would advise the committee members to do certain act as a back-end activities where you don't need actually physical intervention, or you don't need support of any outsider as such. And these are the activities which you can complete by this lockdown, so that that will help you not to delay the further activities or the further completion of your accounts and audit procedure. At the same time, I would also request or guide the accountants of the housing society to take care of certain activities as a back-end activities, so that the other due dates are not getting delayed. So as a committee member, you can use this lockdown period to prepare your activity report for the year. You can use this lockdown period to prepare the budget, because as a committee on WhatsApp group or something, or maybe on various online forums, you can conduct the meetings, and then you can take it forward. So activity report you can prepare by this time. You can prepare the budget. You can get your minutes updated. You can get your registers updated. You can advise your accountants to go for the comparative analysis. Also you can do sitting at home or during this lockdown, because what I observed is review of minutes books. As I said, the activity report you can prepare, budget you can prepare, you can discuss and prepare as a draft budget, maybe using this lockdown period. Registers you can get it updated, minutes you can get it finalized, you can get the minutes reviewed and see whether all the minutes are being properly getting reflected in the accounts or not, whatever resolutions are passed in the minutes are getting properly accounted or not. So that these are the activities which at the back end as a committee we can still do it. One aspect which I would like committee members is, normally what I feel is comparative analysis of the expenses and the income, which takes which is a crucial activity which a managing committee member is supposed to do, is not happening in most of the societies. And I think this lockdown period can be used for that. The activity which you do, maybe suppose let's say 30th September is the AGM date, so you will be, as a managing committee, you will be sitting late night, maybe on 28th or 29th of September, chalking out how whether maintenance needs to be increased, what are the agendas to be taken and all, which expense has increased, which expense has decreased, and if someone asks me question in AGM, how we should be responding, or what should be our answer ready and all. So these things you can do at back end using this lockdown for the 10-12 days. You can sit and you can do that comparative analysis of this particular expenses and income, so that you will be geared up to respond to the queries of your own members who will be asking or raising questions to you in the AGM. Now, as an accountant, as a society accountant, you people also should not be sitting idle at your own homes. And if you have got your systems, if you have got backup of all the societies for which you are doing the accounts or something, then I would request all the accountants to kindly use or utilize this lockdown period to do the back-end activities. Like, you can still go for the finalization, you can go for the bank account reconciliation, you can ask the committee members to send email communications to all the banks, and you can get the bank balance confirmation, because banks are working. So you will get the bank balance confirmation, you can get the interest certificates from the bank, you can get the TDS certificates from the bank, so you can account for the interest, accrued interest portion, you can account for the TDS, you can do the bank reconciliations. And tentative accounts you can prepare, maybe your March billing or your March accounting must be pending, but these are the activities which as an accountant you can still do even in the lockdown period. One more query which was asked to me recently was AMCs are due for renewal, and as a managing committee member we find that okay, the AMCs, the builder was handling the AMCs, and now since we have already taken the handover from the builder, we are thinking of renewing this AMC. So my sincere advice again to this managing committee members would be, yes, whatever AMCs are due, because as a managing committee our role, maybe as a provisional managing committee or maybe as a managing committee, our role is to do the regular maintenance of the society. So there should not be any break or there should not be any gap in those activities, and that smooth functioning has to happen. So as a managing committee you can take your own call and you can renew the existing AMCs as such. So if you want to continue with the existing AMCs you can go with that, or if you want to keep another AMCs, just ensure that, because 3 quotations you will take, and these whatever you are going to select, whatever quotation you are going to select or whatever vendor you are going to select as a AMC, it should be competitive, and it should, the whatever amount or the price you are paying when the builder was handling, it should, if it should be competitive, it should be less than that. Then as a managing committee you can take a call, and at the same time you have to ensure the quality, because deciding on the AMCs is not your call as a managing committee as such. Actually it is the general body needs to approve, right? So you need to keep 3 quotations before them, they will approve, and it's not that only quality or the amount or the price that we are supposed to pay would be the criteria. It is the general body's collective wisdom. So actually this renewal of AMCs is a prerogative of the general body, but considering this exceptional situation, as a managing committee, if you want to take that call you can take it. You have to document it properly, but ensure that whatever you are, there should be quotations taken on record, and it should be competitive. It should be in the interest of the members, or a larger interest of the members. That means if earlier you were paying lift maintenance or security maintenance of 5 lakhs rupees and now it is 10 lakhs rupees, and that means that will against the general members, and this decision will not be a valid decision, or that may go against you. So kindly take, so as far as possible my advice would be, kindly review it, taking the general body in concurrence with, rather than taking your own decisions. Friends, I thought I would update you on these things. I would try to guide you on some of your issues or practical issues which you are facing during this lockdown period. If any clarifications you want, you can reach me on my email ID, that is chsmatter4cashilpa@gmail.com. 4 is a number. chsmatter4cashilpa@gmail.com. You can put your query on my blog, that is CA Shilpa Shingare Real Cooperative Info .blogspot.com. You can visit my website, that is www.cashilpashingare.in. There is a query tab and you can put your query, and definitely I will get back to you. So thanks for watching me. Thanks for your patient hearing. I wish that we should be coming out of the situation, turbulent situation, very safely. Let's observe all the guidelines given by the department, because even the revised guidelines on the lockdown has been issued by the ministry. So let's follow all these lockdown guidelines also. You also stay home and stay safe, and make your life easy, make your life safe, make your family members life safe. And as a managing committee members, you are at a grassroots level, you are the governing authorities, you are the extended arm of the machinery, government machinery. So take it in a positive way, and let's come out of this situation. God is great. Will be very soon we'll be out of this. Let's hope for that, and keep me watching on YouTube for all my educational videos related to cooperatives and RERA, and kindly watch me on my channel, that is Sahakar Vishwa. Kindly subscribe for it, and yes, kindly keep me watching. Thank you. Good day.